Hello and welcome. Today I'm here with my son Joseph, and we're just going to have a conversation.
Yeah, hello.
Joseph, tell me about yourself in less than 60 seconds.
Well, in less than 60 seconds, I can tell you that I'm 23 years old. Grew up and had a pretty good childhood in a working middle class family. Early on in life, probably I'd say about 12 years old, was introduced to the lifestyle of addiction, and that's where that all was born. Being in that type of lifestyle at such an early age messed up the development of my brain, I guess, and kind of forced me into that mindset later on, and got in and out of recovery, in and out of addiction. Really, it's just a lifelong thing, and I'm always working on myself every day.
Good. What is the hardest challenge you've had to overcome so far?
The hardest challenge I've had to overcome so far, not even addiction, not even drugs. The hardest challenge is mental health. That has been a problem with me. Mental health, insomnia, core beliefs about myself. So I've been battling with that every day, even when I'm not using.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still battling with that all the time.
What goals are you pursuing right now?
Goals I'm pursuing: maintain employment, try to have a healthy routine, healthy hobbies, and good relationships and good friendships. And that's about it. Just take it one day at a time.
Good. Who is the one person that you admire the most, alive or dead?
Okay, well, I'd say the person I admire the most, he is deceased. His name is Jared Higgins, also known as Juice WRLD. He was a highly influential rapper who also battled with addiction, and I can relate to a lot of what he's gone through and just kind of click with his personality too, because I understand everything he's talking about, and that has influenced me to try to be a better person. So I still look up to him, to this day.
Good. When have you grown the most in your life, and what caused that growth?
I grew the most in my life when the first time I seriously tried getting clean. I believe I was 19, 20 years old, and seriously started looking into changing my life and bettering myself, and that lasted for about a year, which was a pretty good time in my life. Learned a lot about myself, but things happen and history repeats itself, and got out of that cycle and fell off the wagon. But during that period, it was a highly important part of my life.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, in 5 years, hopefully, just be successful, have a place of my own, have a girlfriend or a wife or some sort of healthy relationship and, healthy friendships. I want to pursue a music career also, and that's something I'm highly passionate about. Like I said about Jared Higgins, he was a rapper. I'm trying to do that type of thing myself, making music all the time, editing it myself, recording it myself, mixing it, making the cover art, and getting it released. And it's something I work on all the time that hopefully I can pursue.
That's great. Yeah, you've always been very talented with music ever since you were really little. What motivates you to get up in the morning?
What motivates me to get up in the morning? That's kind of a hard one to answer because sometimes I'm not motivated to get up in the morning. And when I do, it's just an everyday thing. I don't really think about it.
Okay, so just the routine of knowing it's time to get up.
I guess so.
Have you learned anything about yourself recently?
Recently, I've learned about myself that I have a lot more deeper core issues in regards to mental health and self-worth that I really need to take hold of and work on improving and healing from that, or else I'm just going to end up totally, imploding one of these times. So that's something I learned and something I got to be aware of.
Hmm. What's one idea that you think that the majority of people get wrong?
In what regard? Like,
I
about what?
I think just in life. Is there anything that you just look around at the world and you're like they don't get it?
Yeah, I feel like the majority of people are asleep and really just blind to the truth of living a normal, not normal, but kind of enlightened, understanding life where they don't just follow society blindly and don't see anything beyond just the physical earth. They don't see beyond into the spiritual way of thinking. everybody's not getting along. There's wars and politics, and everyone's just at battle with themselves and other people, and people are killing each other and killing themselves, and everybody's just pretty much blind to the world, I guess, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. What is your proudest accomplishment so far in your life?
In my life is when I achieved 1 year of total sobriety.
Yeah, that was wonderful. The next question is, what was the best year of your life? So I assume that was the best year of your life.
Yeah, it'd be the best year of my
What was
life.
the worst year of your life?
Worst year of my life, age 19, I think. Yeah, that was pretty bad. A lot of chaos, a lot of near-death experiences, but I've had a lot of shitty years, but I'd say 19, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So a couple lighter questions. What's your favorite season of the year?
Winter, definitely winter. I love the cold and I hate the heat. So my least favorite would be summer.
This next question, I already know the answer. Would you rather spend 1 year at the North Pole or 2 years in the Sahara Desert?
3 years at the North Pole.
What superpower do you wish you had?
Invisibility.
What is your spiciest opinion that most people disagree with?
I'd have to think about that. Like just a single opinion about anything.
About anything. Do you have a strong opinion about something that people just don't see it that way?
Let people do what they want. Quit trying to force ideas down everybody's throats and telling them how to live their life and telling them they're doing something wrong, even if what they're doing is working fine for them and you don't know what this person's been through and you don't know what works for them. And just keep to yourself and do what works for you and don't try to force your ideas on everybody's throats. That's pretty much my opinion.
Yeah, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
What's something that you really want to do, but you've never done?
Be a rapper.
Okay.
Like, famous one,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Because when I make music, it's something I genuinely put all of my effort into. And I've been told by people who listen to my music that it's actually really good. And I do everything myself. So if I was actually in a real studio with real producers, I mean, I can write lyrics really, really well in my wordplay and just how I get on a beat and do all that. And if I had if I could take that a step farther and actually start making, money off of making music, that would be a literal dream come true for me.
Yeah, I hope that works out for you. I really do.
I do too. Thank you.
If your life was a book, what would the title be?
The end.
Why is it called The End?
Because there was never a beginning.
Okay. What is your favorite band or artist? So Juice WRLD, is that probably still the answer on that?
Yeah, Juice WRLD is my favorite artist. I have a couple, but he's definitely my favorite. I don't even listen to his mainstream music, like that's even released under the name Juice WRLD. He's got over 2,000 unreleased songs that are leaked, they're uploaded under different aliases and people don't know about it, but that's where his real raw like fire music comes from, and that's what I look up to.
What is your favorite animal?
Probably like an owl.
Yeah, owls are really neat.
Yeah.
What is your favorite food?
Pizza, I guess.
Yeah, any
Yeah.
special toppings?
Some people are gonna hate me for this, but pineapple. Okay, I don't care what nobody says. It is so good, and sausage.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I love pineapple. You know that I love that too
Oh
on my
yeah.
pizza. So let's see. Who's better, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, or Wonder Woman?
Um, Batman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any
Yeah.
reason why? Just the coolest?
I mean, he fights crime in his cool Batmobile, and yeah, I guess so.
What is your favorite dessert?
Probably like ice cream, chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream,
That
or just
sounds
really,
good.
really any kind. I like ice cream.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
That's a good question. Jerusalem.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like that too. Maybe we can go someday.
Yeah, maybe.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Misunderstood, charismatic, self-destructive.
Are you proud of what you're doing with your life or what you've done?
No, hell no. But I hope that can flip like a 180 because I've done it before and
Mm-hmm.
just stay on a consistent path. But like I just said, in those three words to describe me, I'm self-destructive. So that's just how it's been. I
Well,
got to really find my calling in life and my purpose and find something I can make a career out of. And like I've mentioned multiple times, I'd like to be a rapper.
well, every day's a new day.
Hmm.
Are you making an impact or are you constantly influenced by the world?
I'd say neither. I don't let the world influence me unless I can, relate to it or if it makes sense. I don't let it influence me in a bad way though. That all comes from me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not making a true impact really on anything currently.
That could all change real quick.
Hmm. It could.
What makes you happier? To forgive someone or to hold a grudge?
To forgive someone.
Yeah.
When I forgive someone, it doesn't mean I'm gonna make up and be friends with you again, but it means I forgive you.
Is there anything that you wish everybody understood about you? I know you said you're misunderstood is one of your characteristics. Is there anything that you wish everybody truly understood?
Yeah, the way I think, but there's not even a way to put that into words for people to understand. You'd really have to just listen to the lyrics in my music and see me in person and see, my personality, or multiple personalities and just kind of get me on a personal level. But people just don't understand.
Yeah, and that kind of knowledge takes a lot of time, I think.
Uh huh.
You have to have a pretty solid relationship with somebody.
I'd also have to let you into my head, let you into my heart, which I don't trust anybody, and I have not found that right person to do that to do that with.
I
You know,
understand. Hmm.
very cautious when it comes to talking about my feelings around people, because I don't do that. I don't give people the chance to understand me.
Right.
Which I hope I could change. But like I said, music is the way I process my feelings. Let the words kind of flow freely instead of just spinning around in my head. Putting them, to paper and recording them. It feels good.
Yeah, it's a good outlet. Has anything fundamentally changed about you from when you started drugs until now?
Yeah, definitely. It's completely altered my life 100% of the way.
Hmm.
And I started drugs when I was 12 years old. My brain is far from being developed. That completely implanted itself and ingrained itself into my not even my addiction, but just my thoughts and behaviors and just everything about me kind of conditioned me to seek out like instant gratification or compulsivity, putting it up, above everything else.
I don't even think I realized you were that young. My earliest memories of that were when you were in high school,
Yeah,
freshman year, and
that was the second time. You tried putting me on the ADHD meds again,
hmm
but the first time you did, I was 12. That was 2 years before what you're talking about, when I was misdiagnosed with ADHD.
hmm
So they gave me the it wasn't Adderall, it was something related. But
Focalin.
yeah, Focalin. It had the it had the reverse effect on me. Did not slow me down and make me focus like it was supposed to. It made me completely twack out 10 times harder, and that is absolutely not what it's supposed to do. And I love that feeling. So that's what pretty much sparked my addiction. 12 years old. I remember it very clearly.
Do you have a mentor or a role model?
No, not right now. Maybe my uncle though.
Hmm.
I do connect with my uncle on a personal basis. In terms how he's been through the roads of addiction too, and he's come out of it and is taking accountability and self control, and he's into music just like I am. We go to the studio sometimes together, and I can just relate to him. So that's if I had to pick a person, it would be my uncle.
What is giving you hope right now?
Giving me hope, my desire to be successful with my music or something like that. But if I had to be totally honest, not really a lot is giving me hope. I really don't have much of that at all right now.
Hmm. Is there one thing that you would never change in yourself?
My memories,
Okay.
It's like made me who I am.
Yeah. What is something you wish you could erase from your memory forever?
Absolutely nothing. I'd keep my memory.
What is your life motto?
Live fast, die young.
Joseph.
That's what it's been since I was a teenager, and I never thought of a different one.
Okay. I hope you don't die young.
Define young. Is
Anything?
30 young?
Yes.
Is 40 young?
To
There.
die, yes.
Oh no, that's debatable.
I think that if you live to the average life expectancy,
Of what, like 74?
whatever it is these days, then that's okay.
Then that's old. That's not even
That's
young. Live slow, die old. It's not gonna be my motto.
Live slow, die old.
There you go. That can be yours.
Okay. Is there anything you would never do, no matter what the reward?
Never kill someone. I'd never do any strange for change. If you know what I mean.
I don't know that I know what you mean, but that's okay.
The viewers will know what I mean.
Okay.
$20 is not $20.
Does it take you a long time to make crucial decisions?
No, not really. Unless it's like something really, really crucial. No, I'll think it over for a little bit and weigh out the pros and cons, but I'll make a decision if I have to.
Mm-hmm. How did you feel before coming to this interview?
I felt positive and uplifted, kind of anxious, but all right for the most part.
Good. What's the meaning of life for you?
The meaning of life is different for everybody. For me, I haven't even figured that out yet. I can't answer that when it comes to me.
Okay. Still searching.
Still searching.
Okay. How are you doing for real?
For real, I don't think you want to know the for real answer to that, but depression is present most days, like all the time. Pretty much everywhere I go, no matter what I'm doing, I'm always followed by a subtle feeling of dread that's just always there in the back of my mind. It doesn't go away. I don't even know what it's for. Like, I'm trying to think of what could be causing that. What am I dreading? And it's just there's no apparent reason. Self-worth, not really a thing, not really existent. Trying to work on myself still. But, like I said at the beginning, mental health has been a lifelong battle, and it's really above all else when it comes to making me who I am.
Mm-hmm. Where can people go to learn more about you?
What kind of people listen to this podcast? Like middle-aged people?
Well, I think people who listen to it are people that have experienced something similar to what I have experienced.
To learn more about me. There's not really anywhere you can learn more about me except maybe my music. And not everyone's a fan of rap music.
Okay, well, if they were a fan of rap music, where can they find your music?
You can just search up JK on Google, and it's spelled JKAAY.
All right. If you had the attention of the whole world for 5 minutes, what would you say?
I'd probably think of what I had to say for like 4.5 minutes, and then say it's been a nice time. Thanks for listening.
Reminds me of Forrest Gump when he gives that long speech and then realizes the microphone had an issue. Is there anything we haven't covered that you want to say before we close this out?
The whole interview's almost over.
Yeah.
Well, it's been nice. It's been a pleasure being here with my mom and doing this interview. Hopefully you guys have learned more about the mind of someone with the disease of addiction. Yeah, I've really just been through a lot in life, and mental disorders, actual real life trauma, addiction in itself, which is a lot darker and less of a choice than people may think. It really is a disease of the brain, and it takes over and synergizes with mental health and kind of just cripples a person in every way except physically. But even physically, I've been through a lot of pain and traumatic events that have kind of shaped the way that I feel and think on a daily basis. I've learned a lot, definitely, throughout the years. I'm 23, but I feel like I'm a lot older with an old soul, and that I do have some knowledge and life experience to maybe spread along to the younger generation, people who may be going through something similar, who I can relate to, or people who have been through the things I have, just to share the pain with, because we all struggle, regardless of where you came from, what your background is, and what you've been through. If you're an addict or not, or if you struggle with mental health or abuse or trauma or anything that affects you negatively. We all have our own problems and our own issues, but that doesn't mean we can't help each other and share the pain with one another and spread knowledge and advice and humility and integrity with fellow people of the world.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you can recommend to listeners as far as how they can support their loved one?
I recommend trying to get where they're coming from first, and maybe try to help them by having them explain it to you, and not you trying to force ideas down their throats or tell them that they're doing something wrong or try to force them to change, because you definitely cannot make an addict not be an addict. You can't say just stop doing drugs. It doesn't matter how much force or pressure you put on them. If you give them an ultimatum, it doesn't matter. You can never force someone to change, especially when it comes to addiction. You got to take it in a more loving, understanding way. Addicts and people with mental health issues, they don't want to be told how to live their life. They need to receive support and understanding and in a loving, compassionate way, but not in a way that enables them. Just a way that can support them, and just in an understanding way. Because if you try to force an addict or someone struggling to do something, or if you try to discipline them for it, or they feel like they can't share anything with you, and they feel like they can't even talk to you about it, they're never going to tell you what they really feel. They're going to just say, oh yeah, everything's fine, because they don't want to tell you what's truly going on, because they're afraid that you're going to judge them for it, or they're afraid that you're going to punish them for it or lecture them for it, and that's not what they need. That's not going to change them at all a bit, except more negatively. That's just going to make them shut you out more, especially if you're a family member, and it's just going to harm the relationship. They want to feel like they can talk to you and tell you anything, just like they would a significant other or a trusted friend. They don't want to be judged, because they're stuck themselves, and that's the last thing they want to hear. They don't want to be afraid to tell their own parents or family member what's truly going on, because they'll never be honest with you, ever. That's where all the lies come from, because they're afraid to tell the truth, because they know you're going to judge them for it or punish them or any of that. So that's what I think.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being here and for sharing.
Of course, no problem.
And maybe you can come back again another time in the future, and we can go over some other topics too.
Glad to be here.
Or even maybe
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Maybe even do a video podcast if I can figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. It's been fun.
Thank you.